Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Rocco. Thank you, Rev. And thank all of you for dressing up and putting on your Thursday best to kick off this school year in style. It feels great and a long time coming to open up a school year without the complications of pandemic protocols. And while we are in a sweet spot, I want to remind us that our agility with these matters will continue to be paramount to our success. Let us not take a minute of our current state of school for granted. May we make the most of Millbrook, present and future, and be the Millbrook we can be and want to be. Four-year seniors, reading to you in Polling House when I was the acting head feels like centuries ago. I call upon you to lead Millbrook back into the brightness that was your beginning, to carry the torch that the class of 2022 held while bringing back the rhythm of our rituals and routines. And sixth formers, all of you, I believe you have the ability to define your final year here with a legacy that will make you and Millbrook forever proud. A realigned Millbrook, a reset school, a Millbrook where students do own the culture and adults are dedicated to helping every one of you succeed. We are certainly off to a beautiful beginning. And that's why we're here tonight, to pause, to highlight a beginning. Convocation is a community gathering that formally marks the opening of school and brings one of our core values into sharper focus. This year, we will spend time considering what it means to be a steward of the natural world. And this evening, my remarks have two parts, which offer perspectives on being stewards of nature and stewards of human relationships. Part one, allow this campus, these 800 plus acres of varying habitats and ecosystems, to be your microcosm of the natural world. Keep it simple. Have fun with it. Crawl around this place. Muck in the marsh. Climb some trees. You don't have to be the next Charles Darwin or Jane Goodall or Tom Lovejoy. It would be really cool if you were. What I'm saying is that you don't have to be a famous world scientist or an influencer to be a great steward of the natural world. Being great stewards starts with caring for what the outdoors provide, and you are in an ideal setting to interact with the outdoors. Our campus is purposefully rural so that you can live in and with nature. This setting and our core value are intentionally interwoven. It is not a coincidence that this school is here. Even if you consider yourself a city dweller, or at most a glamper, or you hate bugs, or snakes, or rodents, I am convinced that nature naysayers subconsciously love the natural world. If I conducted a photo audit of every cell phone in this room right now, I would bet my headmaster's seat for the day that I would find pictures of natural landscapes, pretty views, mountains, rivers, sand, sunshine, pets, lakes and land, or something of the sort on every phone of every owner of a phone in this room. And after I'm done talking tonight, check your photos and prove me if I'm wrong. Even without your own photos, computer companies, Apple, Dell, Microsoft, Samsung, all build automatic screensavers that reflect the beauty of the natural world into their computers. And those screensavers are not the natural world. They are images captured on a screen. And why is that? I'm sure there are many answers, but my bet is because there is an inherent understanding and maybe even a universal truth that nature grounds us. It helps us remember that we are a part of a larger world. that there is beauty and harmony in, as Aldo Leopold writes, all that is natural, wild, and free. Computer companies know what they are and what they're not, and they compensate for what they're not. The point I really want to stress is that even when we cannot be outside with nature, we subconsciously want it to be around us and inside of us. And let me further evidence this claim. Did you know that there are way more artificial pink flamingos in the world than real pink flamingos? They're not even close to a threatened or an endangered species. Plastic pink flamingos. If you pick your heads up on your next family road trip or on a train or on a bus, you'll see them. They're everywhere. Why is that? Do you know that as of yesterday, when you Google videos of a crackling fireplace, there are 1,260,000 search results? I found one YouTube video of a fireplace that has 22,622,000 views. A video of a fireplace. Why is that? Why is it that millions and millions of people watch Bear Grylls, River Monsters, Deadliest Catch, Planet Earth, or stare into Ansel Adams and Georgia O'Keeffe reprints on their walls, instead of catching a fish or hiking to a beautiful spot and capturing that picture for themselves? Why is that? I used to teach a course I called Eco-Literature, the Disneyfication of Nature. It was a study about nature and artifice, and in one of my favorite units, we explored these questions through Jennifer Price, her book, Flight Maps, which is about adventures with nature in modern America. And perhaps I'm oversimplifying it, but Dr. Price would posit that artifice, the capturing and grooming of nature, helps us feel in control of a world force that we cannot control. And the aforementioned examples, the pink flamingos, the images online, the faux fireplace, they serve as proof of our innate desire to be surrounded by nature, to be a part of it, to carry it with us, as if the natural world itself has anthropomorphic traits, that is, human qualities that we must at times nurture, at times leave alone, and in times of destruction, especially in those times, provide delicate and gentle care. Any of you who have experienced something like Overland, or Outward Bound, or Knowles, or you've just been on a hike at a summer camp, or go camping with your family, you know there is no substitute for the lessons that the natural world teaches when you're in it, when you experience it, and don't simply control it through an object or an image. I hope that you will find a little time this year to pause and soak up the lessons that our little slice of heaven in the Hudson Valley brings with it. Enjoy this gorgeous natural setting. Our core value, in part, is our core value because we have the privilege to interact with this place every day. Part 2. In the spirit of what Mr. Schmidt shared with you at Fall Welcome, I also want to spend a little time with you this evening thinking about stewardship with a twist. Mr. Schmidt suggested to be a good steward means to truly care for something, someone, or some place. We can be stewards of the natural world, stewards of a cause, stewards of language or of a discipline, stewards of an organization or a relationship. And as we officially open this year and focus upon this community value, I wonder what it means to be a steward of a relationship, what it means to be truly a good friend. So much has been expressed or written about friendship. Walter Winchell says, "A real friend is someone who walks in when the rest of the world walks out." Oprah Winfrey says, "Lots of people want to ride in the limo with you, but what you want is someone who will take the bus with you when the limo breaks down." Or Eleanor Roosevelt, Many people will walk in and out of your life, but true friends leave footprints in your heart. Oscar Wilde, who happens to be my favorite author, in true Wildean fashion, says, "True friends stab you in the front." Friendship, stewarding relationships has been on my mind because it seems to me that friendship is among the most assuring, reassuring, and wonderful blessings one can experience in life. And in the last couple of years, if the last couple of years have taught me anything, it's that the companionship we find in others is what will sustain us when the going truly gets tough. We live in a world with seemingly infinite challenges right now. Global pandemic, civic unrest, economic uncertainties, inflation, poverty, homelessness, wars, mass shootings, terrorism, to name a few. Hope, inspiration, and faith occurs when we have friends by our side, physically or spiritually. You cannot take friendship away. Friendship transcends all conflict and adversity. In the early days of the pandemic, Zoom and FaceTime and Microsoft Meets, whatever the medium or platform, allowed us to connect with friends and not feel so alone. I love asking grandmothers and grandfathers about this chapter in their lives, and what I find to be common is the connection and sometimes resurrection of friendships. Mrs. Downs' grandmother, Shirley, says regularly that you can get through anything so as long as you have a friend. Friendship seems to be a graphene through line in people's lives. Once a true friend, always a friend. I also want to offer a point of view of what friendship is not. The now Meta, formerly Facebook platform, hijacked and ruined that definition years ago. Watching someone's life from afar is not friendship or a relationship. It's following, nomenclature more accurately defined by Instagram and TikTok. At best, a follower is a form of commensalism, an association between two organisms in which one benefits and the other derives neither benefit nor harm. And at worst, it's parasitism, a relationship between two organisms in which one benefits and the other is harmed. Equally as puzzling in my mind is the idea that quantity is more important than quality, as if 1 million followers brings more meaning to one's life than one true friend, a for real BFF. I'd take the latter, one BFF, any day. Sometimes it's hard not to get pulled into the temptation of quantity, as if it's concrete evidence of love and popularity, maybe meaning or reward. It's not. And it can, at times, be a scary path to loneliness. It's so important for us to regularly evaluate whether these mechanisms of connection are doing as they profess or, ironically, the exact opposite. If you haven't seen the movie Tombstone, I recommend it. It's loosely based on the true stories of Wyatt Earp, a 19th century Western lawman. And in the movie, a group of newcomers gets into a gun battle with renegade cowboys. And after the smoke clears, a deputy asks Wyatt Earp's right-hand man and friend, Doc Holliday, "What the heck are you doing this for?" And Doc responds, "Wyatt Earp is my friend." To which the deputy replies, "Heck, I got a lot of friends." And Doc Holliday looks him in the eye and says, "I don't." The scene powerfully captures the quality of a relationship. If nature teaches us anything, it's that the best friendships are relationships defined by mutualism, a symbiotic relationship that benefits both organisms involved. I've seen this all over our campus. When all returning students arrived last week, zigzagging through the quads and dorms and dining hall to be in the presence of friends whom you haven't physically seen in a while, The power of the friendships in this room was palpable, deriving joy from one another. It was awesome. Proof of the value of this place that I've seen and known and loved and understood since I was a student here. Students who are newest to Millbrook, while you're finding your footing, my colleagues and I have faith that relationships of a lifetime are here for you too. The Rev says it's the edge of possibility. Ralph Waldo Emerson professed that the only way to gain those good friends is to be a good friend. And Jesse Owens said, true friendships never collect dust. Those friendships are in your future, so long as you remain open to the idea of creating and stewarding them. That's a wish I have for all of you, that you find lifelong friends here. And your friends from home, your real friends from home, they will remain unconditionally your friends forever. You'll learn this over time. When you haven't seen someone in weeks or months or years or even decades, you will simply pick back up right where you left off. Those friendships in many ways are right where you will be always. There is no end, just good old-fashioned mutual understanding of a relationship. In an August 5th op-ed piece in the New York Times, David Brooks wrote about the transformative power of friendship, and he suggested that friends make you happier because they see and believe in you in ways that you may not see and believe in yourself. He wrote that friends provide a camaraderie that is the crown of a good life, and expanded by claiming that there's nothing more influential in our social range and even our upward mobility than friendships, citing camps, and I would add, great boarding schools like Millbrook, as places where we, a diverse group of people, can live with intensely intermingled lives. We learn about one another and our worlds and create a joint world out of our own friendships. We build greater capacity for social range. So let's steward our social and environmental range this year. Let's cultivate our relationships with each other and build an appreciation for this campus. If we care for one another and care for our campus and others will care for us. Thank you.